Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Everyone seeks happiness in one's life. Happiness gives a kind of strength not only to the body, even to the mind. That will be sound body and sound mind. Happiness cannot come as usual. We have to make it our mind to be followed the path of happiness. Happiness is one of the choice, whether we choose or not. But happiness is always happiness. Many people realize that life will melt with happiness alone. If a person is happy, naturally the remaining people also will be happy. If he is unhappy, surely he will make others who are surrounding him will become unhappy. Happiness is not comes automatically. We have to adopt from the young age. How happiness comes? We have to satisfy what we possess, and we have to think whatever happens for the best. As you sow, so shall you reap. These type of wise sayings to be followed. Happiness gives a kind of energy to do whatever the work. It may be hard or typical, but easily we can do. Happiness is a kind of strength to human beings. Not only human beings, all the beings created by God want to live happily. To live happily, a person always strives for seeking the pleasure. One should possess a self-contentment. Self-contentment gives always happiness. Happiness may not come as it is. Even small acts will give fuel for your daily happiness. Happiness is not to be measured. It is immeasurable path. We have to go through the happiness to make our life blissful. We should satisfy what we are. We should not compare with others in wealth, on health, in whatever the way. Everybody created by God to lead his life in happy mood. Happiness thus considered a major part of one's life. Happiness gives immeasurable joy. Even there are some few reasons which will make us to be happy. When your health is wealth, then you feel happy. When you are self-contented, you will feel happy without comparing with others. Education, prosperity, whatever the things. Therefore, we have to seek the path how to get happiness. Happiness is also one of the signs. You can choose pleasure and be happy. Your brain does not want you to be happy sometimes, but you have to instruct your mind to follow the path of happiness. Like this, we have to adopt this type of happiness to build up deeply with pleasure and satisfied commitments. Therefore, God has given the life to every being to lead in happiest way. That we have to understand. So, In this regard, today I took the topic of happiness is a choice. Let us start with prayer. Shriyakantaja Kalyana Nidhaye Nidhaye Dinam Shri Venkatanivasaya Srinivasaya Mangalam. Many happy people realize that happiness is a choice and they have to choose it every day on purpose. Happy people are not held hostage by their circumstances and they do not seek happiness in people or wealth. They understand that when we stop pursuing the happiness, then automatically we get it. We start to experience happiness within all of us, but simply choosing happiness is not enough. For the fully experience, one needs to make a conscious decision to choose happiness every day. Embracing a new action item, practicing it all, or just using it as an inspiration for your discovery. We can have some ways to choose happiness. How? Let us count our blessings. Happy people prefer to focus on the positive acts or positive aspects of life instead of negativity. Is it? They make up their minds to be grateful for a specific reason. They express it whenever possible. And they quickly find out that they are always grateful for something which is given by God to lead our life in blissful way without wasting it. For that, we have to have carrying a smile. A smile is a wonderful beautifier, but more than that, studies suggest that creating a face full of emotion affects the emotions processed by the brain. Our expression can affect our brain in the same way that our brain affects our face. Seeing the face, people used to say whether he is happy or not. They can read out the mind. Therefore, there is a saying, face is index of mind. Is it? So, in other words, you can program yourself to experience happiness by choosing to laugh, not to mention all the beautiful smiles you receive in return for filling you with happiness, are also guaranteed to increase your level of happiness. Your affirmation every day in your life. Affirmation is positive thoughts with positive beliefs and personal statements of truth. They are sent in the first person, the present tense. The affirmations used every day can relieve stress, build confidence, and improve our vision. For maximum effectiveness, support should be chosen carefully based on truth, and current needs should be considered. For that, let us wake up our terms. Most of us have alarm clocks programmed because of the expectations of others. The workplace, the school, or the waking child. That probably will not change. But that does not mean we have to lose control of our mornings in the process. Wake up early in a little while and establish an empowering, meaningful morning routine. Start each day on your terms. The next 23 hours will be thankful for that. So, practice a life improving discipline. How? There is a happiness and fulfillment in personal growth. Knowing that you have deliberately devoted time and energy to personal improvement is one of the most satisfying feelings you can experience. Embrace and practice at least one act of self-discipline every day. This can be exercise, budget, or mentor education, and what your life needs today to keep growing. Find it, practice, celebrate it. Another one, using your power. Each of us has natural talents, strengths, and abilities. And when you use it effectively, we feel alive and comfortable in our skin. They help us enjoy our existence and our design. So, embrace your strengths and choose to manage your ingenuity every day. If you need to find this job outside of your employment, anyway, find this outlet. Another, completing an important task. How? Because happy people prefer happiness, they have control over their lives. At the same time, they have control over their senses also. They do not make decisions based on the need for pleasure. Instead, they act with pre-chosen satisfaction. They realize that their time is demanding, there is a helpful business to fulfill, and there are important contributions to make the world around them. Choose an important task that you can complete each day and enjoy your contributions. Another, eat healthy meals or snacks. We are spiritual, emotional, and mental beings. We are also the physical body. Our lives cannot be completely separated in their parts. You see? As a result, one aspect always influences the other. For example, our physical body always affects our spiritual and emotional well being. Therefore, taking care of our physical well being can bring significant benefits to our emotional state. An easy way to choose happiness today is to eat healthy food. Your physical body will thank you, and so will your emotional well being. Another, treats others well. Everyone is kind hearted one. But more than that, we want to treat others with the same respect that we could like to give. Treat everyone you visit with kindness, patience, and happiness. The golden rule is a powerful standard. It benefits the recipient. You also bring growing satisfaction with yourself because you treat yourself the way other people treat you. Now, meditate. Find a solitary time in solitude. That means when you are alone. As our world increases in speed and volume, the ability to retreat becomes more necessary. The study confirms the importance of meditation and its life giving benefits. So, make time for time and use meditation to explore inwardly, to connect spirituality, and to improve your happiness today. Another, search for blessings in your pain. This life can be difficult. There is no escape without pain. At some point, somehow, we all face it. When you do, remind yourself again that the trial may be difficult, but it will pass. And search deep to find meaning in pain. Choose to see the benefits that can be found in your trial. In a very short time, speed is building, and for the most part, the ability to comfort others in pain is also evolving. Now, Let us choose pleasure and be happy. Happy people are not held hostage by their circumstances, and they do not seek happiness in people or possessions. They understand that when we stop chasing the world's definition of happiness, we begin to see the decision to experience happiness has been right in front of us all along. Research in the field of positive psychology continues to reinforce this understanding. Now, another, your brain does not want you to be happy. Why? Our brains are not designed to create happiness. Instead, the job of our brain is to save us. For 1,000 years, the main job of our brains was to ensure survival and save us from wild animals and death when we went on a hunt. And while most of us these fears are redundant today, our brains still try to protect us from danger and inconvenient situations. Okay, that's why choosing happiness feels so hard when facing negative experiences and disappointments. People are about as happy as they make their minds up to be. Another, the science of happiness. What is the science of happiness? Happiness is a topic of great interest among thinkers, dreamers, philosophers, and scientists. Even a regular Joe like you and I pursue happiness daily. Even though we might not have an intellectual interest in this subject. And that's because a good portion of your everyday actions converge towards cultivating an overall pleasant mood. For example, you watch your favorite sitcom, work on your goals, and hang out with your friends because these actions generate a sense of satisfaction. But even though happiness is generally a universal goal, we know so little about achieving and sustaining it. Researchers are only now beginning to unveil the true complexity of this mental state. Another, it's not about your genes. How? We like to think that some people are born with the right mindset for happiness. Maybe we perpetuate this myth as an excuse to accept our depressing conditions or possibly to avoid taking responsibility for how we feel. But the truth is, happiness is mainly determined by our experience. In fact, three major factors govern your overall sense of well being. What are they? 1. A genetically determined set point for happiness. Number 2. Circumstantial factors that contribute to a positive vibe. 3. Practices and activities that cultivate happiness. How much money you have? That is one of the question for happiness. We know for a fact that money can have a saying in your overall sense of satisfaction and joy. After all, money grants you access to valuable resources. In other words, it's a kind of difficult to focus on pursuing happiness when you're running on an empty stomach or you don't have a roof over your head. Money can have a saying in your overall sense of satisfaction and joy, since research indicates that it does buy happiness, but only to a certain point. But as current research indicates, money does buy happiness, but only to certain point only. It's about the choices you make. How? One of today's leading experts on happiness revealed that while happiness is indeed a mix of action changes and circumstantial changes, long term happiness can be achieved and maintained through deliberate actions. As social creatures, we share most of our positive experiences with other people, isn't it? It's like happiness takes on a whole different meaning and intensity when we experience it as a group. Whether it's celebrating your birthday, surrounded by close friends, enjoying an intimate afternoon with your significant other, or attending a family reunion, you often tend to seek happiness in social interactions. Since human since human well-being and social interactions go hand in hand, one path to cultivating happiness in your life is by investing in people. Let us find out few reasons to choose happiness. Because it keeps you healthy. Happy people are the healthiest. The fact that you are in a good mood will inevitably boost your immune system, your motivation to engage in healthy practices, and your ability to cope with stress. Researchers have discovered that positive emotional experiences are generally linked to favorable health outcomes, reducing the risk of coronary heart disease and other medical conditions. It's the truth. Happiness is neither the secret to longevity nor the universal cure to suffering and illness, but it can drastically improve your odds of living a healthy life. Take a moment to think about some outdoor activities or self care practices that are both healthy and also enjoyable. For example, I like to play airsoft. It floods me with endorphins and keeps me physically active. Another, cope with stress better. How? Stress is a part of everyday life. You deal with the stress when you are stuck in traffic, is it? Late for an appointment or on the verge of finishing a big project. It does not matter how intelligent, wealthy, educated, or resistant you are, as long as you are living and working in today's society. Stress will be exerting a constant influence on your well being. Since you can't eliminate stress entirely, the best thing you can do is try to face it with a positive attitude. Current research suggests that people who are usually in a positive mood recover from stress faster and better. The more you invest in actions, practices, and choices that contribute to your overall sense of well being, the more equipped you are to handle stress. Most of our misery happens because we put too much pressure and meaning on our work and lives. We chase careers and goals that we don't even admire and end up overworked at young ages because we don't listen to our bodies and all desires. Sometimes reminding ourselves of our mortality and being aware that our time is the best way to find satisfaction in what we already have. The truth is that there is no finish line other than death anyway. You will never be done accomplishing goals, making money, or becoming better versions of yourself. If you don't force yourself to stop in a while and take a deep breath, you might soon find yourself in a doom loop of chasing goals because everyone else is doing so. While being ambitious and creating awesome things is great, so is enjoying yourself and the precious little moments in life. Tiny acts to fuel your daily happiness. What are they? Did you know that smiling may make you happier? There is a magic in your smile that leads to more happiness even in you have nothing to laugh about. By smiling at yourself every time you see yourself in a mirror, you can literally be happier. Give it a try. Again, build up deep connections. How? Social interactions make us happier than loneliness. It's proven that lonely people die at a young age. Surrounding yourself with like minded people and having meaningful conversations, however, can significantly increase your satisfaction. Another, be the first one to share the good news. Let us see how. Whenever you enter a room or conversation, share positive messages. We are so used to talking about negativity and daunting topics such as world events and politics that positive conversations are quite rare. By spreading positive news, you will not only be happier but also charm the people around you. Spread love everywhere you go. Let no one ever come without leaving happier. Another, limit your media consumption. Yes, being informed about current happenings is essential. And it's also fine to scroll through your Facebook and Instagram newsfeed. But did you know that the global average daily phone usage is more than 3 hours? Most news is bad news. Thus, our excessive media consumption and spending more time doing things you love can have a quick and powerful effect on your daily satisfaction. Then, move your body. Doing sports and being active not only contributes to a healthier but also happier life. Is it? Even a short walk or some stretching exercise might help you to increase your daily happiness levels and boost your mind or boost your mood. Physical activity is known as one of the fastest and also the most reliable ways of increasing your happiness. Thus, investing some time into sports is undoubtedly a powerful decision. Finally, calm your mind. While moving your body is essential to let go of stress and increase your physical well being, meditation can be your most excellent helper to settle down and find joy in the present moment. Last but not least, be kind. The more happiness we spread, the happier we become. Trust in karma and the flow of life and treat others the way you would like to be treated. For example, make more time for your friends and family. Ask them how they are. Cultivate deep, genuine relationships and offer your help whenever you can. Other ways of spreading kindness and happiness are by volunteering for different organizations and helping those in need. Final thoughts. We all have bad days, and having a big grin on our face is certainly not the meaning of life. Yet, joyful days are unquestionably more favorable than those filled with misery. Sometimes happiness just means letting go of what you think your life is supposed to look like, and instead of enjoying the present moment with all its aspects. श्रेयकांताय कल्याणनिधे निधेन्द्रां श्रीवेङ्कटनिवासाय श्रीनिवासाय मङ्गलं मङ्गलाशासनपरे मदाचार्यपुरोगमे सर्वैश्च गुरुवैराचार्य सत्कृतायास्तु मङ्गलम्.